Justin Carter. Me and him linked up quite a while ago, but we just now kind of setting his bed in stone, and so he's performing at the House of Blues on a regular basis, and so I'll be joining him out there.
Okay.
I gotta take care of some things before I leave though, so I always make sure my stuff is together.
Where you flying out of Dallas?
Out of Texarkana.
Oh, ooh. I didn't know Texarkana had an airport.
They do. Yeah, they do.
I
Yeah.
didn't know they had an airport.
Yeah, even Pine Bluff has an airport, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, I went to school down
They
there.
got 2 planes there?
I guess about 2. I've never flown out of Pine Bluff though. I can say that. I don't know anybody that has, honestly.
So what, you gotta fly from Texarkana to Dallas?
Yeah, and then from Dallas.
I know you ain't flying.
Yeah, it's gonna go. I don't want to deal with getting I don't want to deal with getting to Dallas and stuff. I'm like, I figured this was gonna be a crazy week for me, so I tried to simplify it however I could.
Yeah.
Because I just came from Chattanooga. I had a show in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Then I came right down here and had to work on some things, and then going from here right to Vegas, and then it's just a lot.
So what you doing in Chattanooga?
Chattanooga had a performance with a guy named Christopher Abernathy, if I'm pronouncing that right. Everybody just calls him CC.
Right.
So he hosted it and put it together. It was really nice. It was me and 2 other artists. The headline being, what was his name? G Child, a guy named G Child from Alabama was there also and performed. So yeah, he booked this a while ago. It was really well put together. It was at Barking Legs Theater, which I want to say is like near downtown Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And so it was nice. It was nice. It was a full sets down there, a full 30 minutes. So it was good. The crowd was good though. So.
Man, you know how long we've been trying to put this interview together?
I know. And my schedule is like boom, boom. You see how I've been this week? Like this is like every month for me.
Yeah.
And so everything, like things change, but I think that I'm getting more disciplined and being able to coordinate better and put things together better. So
That's all right.
yeah.
We only been trying since 2017.
This makes 2 years for me. So I'm finally getting where I'm like, okay, you got to do this, this, and that. And so and that's just come from it's just growing pains. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. So I mean, you got a manager, or you just kind of just handle everything on your own?
I just handle everything on my own because my support system is so solid. Yeah, my family, they stand behind me 100%. My mom is always helping me. She literally has been to every show. She has a store in Texarkana called LaBelle's Fashions, and so whenever, like, say if I throw an event personally, she knows that she does events. So my decor, the planning of it and putting it together, the network and getting it, here and there, she has that on lock for me. Whenever I need like my outfits, she's like can literally create my outfits. She tailors them to fit me because I'm like really peculiar about my stuff. My sister has a master's in business. And so whenever I need like contracts looked over or handled or written up, I just give her a call. Anything like on the legal side, she's like super A1 with. I got an aunt and uncle. Most of my aunts and uncles are business owners, so whenever I'm unsure about something, I call them for advice. They're like my counsel. And so for that reason, like we just all put our heads together and work as needed, and they really respect that I know what I want, and I'm very aggressive about what I want. And they just help me get what I'm trying to put and offer me their good advice. They give me their examples of like what they've encountered in business, and it's not so much like when you're dealing with family, like my family, you don't deal with the issues that I think a lot of people might run into with managers, like ulterior motives, power trips, stuff like that. That can be a big issue in the industry, like super big. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is the conflict of interest. When you have a lot of people who are still involved in the industry that had goals to be in it themselves as a star, as a headliner, and end up being behind the scenes. And so you'll get a lot of opposition from, you know what I mean?
Right.
If it ever seems like you're surpassing them. And so having a solid support team and meant like people that you can go to for advice, that's super important, because they don't tell me anything wrong.
So you from Texarkana, Texas, or Texarkana, Arkansas?
I'm from the Arkansas side.
Why you can't be from the Texas
I'm from
side?
the Arkansas side. I'm an Arkansas girl all day.
Cut this interview out.
I went to school on the Texas side.
That's
a little bit.
Right?
I went to Liberty Islo, and I ain't gonna lie, they do have like really like the education system over there is dope. Athletics over there is dope. I don't know what they got in the water over there, but I ain't gonna lie, like Texas side athletes, I ain't gonna front on them, but I am an Arkansas girl. My mom and dad both are from Arkansas.
Okay.
The video that I shot, Don't Blow My Heart, all those scenes, like those overhead scenes where I'm like in the middle of nowhere, That's all in Shaw, Arkansas, Mineral Springs, Arkansas. That's where the Owens names come from.
I didn't know what the hell y'all was.
Yes, it looks like the middle of nowhere.
Kind of pasture.
Yes, that's all family-owned property in Mineral Springs, and so I was like, I gotta pay homage. These my people.
You said family-owned property.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Okay.
Yeah, the whole video was 100% black-owned property or businesses, so we did that intentionally. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
How long you been singing?
This makes 2 years, like pursuing it seriously.
Right,
2 years. Before then, I guess I didn't have the confidence, or I felt like it would be silly to pursue it, you know, because I would make beats here and there, and I was like, I didn't know sound go. I let people hear them. Nobody ever wanted to buy them, so I'm like, I should just focus on school. But it's always been in the back of my head, and it's always been like my escape. So I would sit down and just like, I don't read music necessarily, but I've always been able to just pick up instruments and play them. You know, I've never been formally trained on FL Studio, but I could always just kind of get on there and throw a beat together. But it was never anything that I thought that I could, that I could actually pursue, because I'm like, oh, I'm not as good as, I'm comparing myself to greats,
Right.
As an amateur, and I'm like, oh, I'm not them,
Of course not.
So, yes, I always felt so behind, but it's just like something I always wanted to do. So after I finally graduated, I was like, I want this. I'm gonna do something for myself, because I went through hell and hot water to get this degree, so surely I can do something for myself. And so I ordered a beat production software as a graduation gift to myself. Okay. And then I ended up making Don't Blow My High. I started making those beats on the producer side, because at the time I was like, oh, I'm too reserved to be an entertainer, and so I was reaching out to people to buy the beats. Nobody wanted to buy them because they were like, those sound weird. I was like, okay. So then I was like, well, I'll give them to you. You can have them. Nobody wanted them. So every song on that EP graduated. Literally, I tried to give away and nobody would take them.
So you're like, shoot, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'll cover them. So I was just checking the mix on one of them, Don't Blow My High, in my car, because I didn't have studio equipment at that time. So I didn't have monitors for sound. So I put it in my car and I was checking the mix on it. I was like, okay, it sounds nice. So I went live on Facebook and freestyled over it. And then everybody kept sharing the video. And they're like, when is this dropping? I'm like, bet. So that's when I get started. I go find an engineer, I record it, I drop it. Then everybody's like, well, where's the rest of it? And then my mom was like, you need to shoot a video to that. I was like, I don't know. She was like, no, go shoot a video to this. And she was like, here's $250, just go start on it. Just start. I'm like, okay. Right. So start on the video drops, it gets like 30,000 views out the gate. And I'm like, I'm in love with this. So
which video dropped first? Don't Blow My High or the
Angel Dust? It was Don't Blow My High was the first one. Angel Dust came. So what I prefer to do is see what songs people like the most, and then I give them my visual of it. And so after I released, so Don't Blow My High came out first. Then my mom says, go shoot the video. I shot the video. Right. And then after that, as soon as I released the video, I also released the 4-song EP. In which Angel Dust was the first track on that. Well, Angel Dust ended up being my number 2 hottest song. Really, they were tied, depending on what time of the year it is. In the wintertime, people are feeling, how they feeling. They want to hear Angel Dust. Yeah. In the summertime, they want to ride to Don't Blow My High. And so then I went back in December and started shooting Angel Dust, which ended up being like a 6-month process.
Yeah, I seen that Angel Dust video. You being a little bit.
Yeah, it was adult content. It was adult content. It was. Yeah, it was.
What your mom say about that video?
She liked it actually. She felt like it was art, and I felt like it was art.
It was art.
Yeah, even the girls in it, like even their parents, like one of them notably, her dad, I told him, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna offend you or not, so don't look at it, because he comes to the shows too. Like the girls both, their parents support them too. They dance, they do makeup, they do hair, they come with me on the road, they help me promo and stuff. Like, so I told him, I was like, don't watch it. He was like, I already watched it. I thought it was great. I was like, oh, okay. So
because it had a theme to it, it was artistic. It wasn't just girls just shaking ass and kind of crazy.
I think it went over a lot of people's head, honestly, because it was kind of like a philosophical type of thing. It was like a if and. It was kind of showing 2 different realities. Basically, that's what it was. It was 2 different realities, and it was showing how, like in the beginning of the video, you see us pulling these guys off. They were actually slaves. You see us pulling them off, and it looks like, oh, their fate is going to be horrible. So basically, let's say I was a queen from another empire who had came into whatever country or empire to purchase slaves from them. So it looks bad, and then you see, like, I actually bought these men and took them into paradise at the end, but you don't see that to the end. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of about existentialism. You think about the Matrix. type ordeal. That's why in the beginning a lot of people didn't catch it, but there's a red pill and a blue pill, and I'm looking between them both trying to choose which one. The guy slides me the tray, and I'm like, oh, what's that? You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was supposed to be, like, deep and artistic. I wanted that for that video. Yeah. Palmer 69, Chili 69 Palmer. He's got, like over 1 million followers for comedy videos. Anyway, like, him and me and him are talking up and, like, chat or whatever. And I was saying something on his one of his statuses one day, and it was kind of like a debate, like an educational debate, and then his brother or cousin was telling me like, oh, I was in the military, so I know how that goes. I was like, oh yeah, me too, you know, because we were both Air Force, and so long story short, he figured out.
You still in?
No, I was trying to get my college paid for.
There you go.
I can't with the structure of it. Like if it wasn't for the structure of it, I would go back in, but I can't. But anyway, his brother told me, or his cousin told me, he was like, after we got to talking, he looked at my page, he was like, yo, you're Bazi? I'm like, yeah. He was like, they play a song up here all the time. I was like, where? He was like, in DC and in Baltimore. Like, I hear it on the radio all the time. I was like, shut up, you're lying. He was like, no, I'm telling you. I was like, what's the radio station? So he sent it to me. So sometimes people just find you. Some of my shows that are booked have literally, I asked them, like, how did you book me? And they're like, you know, I was just scrolling through YouTube and I saw your video. So the internet is pretty powerful.
Now state one more time, because we went so into this video, I don't think nobody ever got your name.
Bazi Owenz.
With the Z.
Bazi Owenz with a Z. That's with really important.
With the Z.
Yes.
With the Z. So, so you was doing the Air Force. Went ahead and let that go.
Yes.
Pretty much pursuing your music career.
Right.
Now, from going through your Instagram, just following you for like the last year and a half or so, it seems like you have a love for, I want to say, strippers, strip poles.
Oh man, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on that, because I'll fight somebody for talking about strippers.
Because you made posts on Facebook where people, I guess, were trying to talk about strippers, and you defended them to no end.
Always.
So give us some insight on this, love for strippers.
Always. I mean, I can take this from 2 point of views. Personally, I just love strippers. I think they're entertainers.
Yeah.
To me, they're like underpaid therapists. That's what they are. Like they're therapy, and they are entertainment.
Some are underpaid.
Some are underpaid. Yeah, some are well paid. And so
before you get into it, who's your favorite stripper?
Oh man, that's hard. Oh my God, I can't pin that down.
What's her name? Malaya.
I think my favorite is what's her name? She's been Napolitan. She used to have a partner. It's not Spider and Magic. I can't think of her name. I'm drawing a blank on her name. But she does. She started off competing in the Napolitans in Dallas, and then she ended up going solo. You know, they always have partners in those. She ended up going solo. She ended up like teaching pole classes. Now she's over the the Flying Angels in Miami, and then she ended up building a team from there. Like, love her to death.
But yeah, go back into your love.
So my love for strippers on a personal level, I have always felt like women are just beautiful. Like, I don't think anybody can deny that. I think like if you don't think women are beautiful, I don't know about you. Like, I would think something is wrong. And so what they do, I just see it as raw talent. Everybody looks at it like it's nasty and degrading, but like it's just like raw talent to me. For them to be able to, because like when I go in a club, for example, I prefer going to strip clubs over regular clubs. Okay. Because I'm a very chill person. I have like really heightened sensory and stuff, so I don't like people up in my space too much. You know what I mean? You go in a club, it's like you're just caught up in this huge mix.
Right.
You go to a strip club, you order a steak, you sit down, you have a couple drinks, you talk to a girl. If I want to, I'll get a dance because I show support. I'll tip them. It's just very, very lax, and they're salespeople. That's basically what they are.
Right.
What they do is they're businesswomen to me. You know, they have to learn how to gauge a customer, figure out what their style it is, what it is they're looking for, and convince them why they should buy a certain thing. And they do all of this without, the look is that, oh, they're up there selling cat. All of them ain't selling cat. People say there's no way a guy's gonna go in a club and spend $1,000 and he ain't getting no cat. They do.
I've seen it.
They do all the time, and I think that's a small-minded thing to say because it tells me you've never been around that type of money.
Right.
I've been in clubs where millionaires have walked in. They're the quietest guys in the room. I mean, absolutely quiet. You know.
I've seen football players throw 30,000.
And it's
and
because
just
they
leave,
have it.
and
It's
they-
gratifying for
right.
them. It's gratifying. It's like a power thing. It's saying,
I never do it. Hell no.
yeah,
But
it's for them. It's saying I got enough money to where I can do this. And to me, it's like you tip. Just like for me, I'm a big tipper. Not a big tipper, but like I'm big on tipping.
Right.
Because I worked cocktail serving, I worked waiting tables, and so everywhere I go, I'm tipping the valet guy. You know, I'm tipping the guy who carries my bag upstairs. I'm tipping just whoever. I'm tipping my bartender. So.
But let me ask you this: have you ever thought about doing that?
Hell yeah.
Oh, I know you have.
Hell yeah, I actually know how to pole dance. There's videos.
I've seen.
I've seen there's been
you got
videos on
videos
Instagram
of
with me pole dancing. Yeah. I took like I move around so much. I like don't post. I don't take the pole because it's too much. Like it's a what do you call it? An expert pole, the brand. So they're like, I mean, a heavy is just too much to carry around with me. But like, yeah.
So did you ever teach pole dancing?
I started to because I took a class down here. It's after I left the Hustler Club. Like I quit cocktail serving down there because my car had got broke into and I was like heartbroken. They took all my school books. Oh, and so
like,
yeah, I was like hurt.
Man, your car getting broke into is like the most demoralizing
it
thing
is.
ever.
It is.
You feel so helpless and
it's nothing you can do. It's like it scars you. They took everything. Social security card, credit cards, all my school books.
I had my shit broken into. I had a brand new screen in there. I put in my dashboard.
You feeling good?
Oh man, I had the total switch where the override, where the screen be playing while I'm driving and shit. Man, they broke in, took that, took the CD player, took my speakers.
Everything, man.
You just feel.
They took your speed. They had time.
Them jokers, man.
Right? They had time.
I felt demoralized.
Damn,
even though the
they
insurance,
knew you.
even though the insurance was gonna give me that back,
Yeah.
it just
It's like your stuff. It's like. It's
you
like
just feel violated. That's
it's
it.
mental rape. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's mental rape.
Violated.
It's like this was my stuff and you came into my space. Yeah.
But anyway,
so yeah, so when
about it
I left there
and
and one of my friends from here in Shreveport, me and her were in chemistry class together, and she,
Right.
I want to say, no, one of my customers from that club told me about this spot. It was a group of women that come in, and believe it or not, women are like the better tippers in clubs.
I won't even argue with that. I've seen it.
Like they're very supportive. It's like women kind of recognize other women.
They recognize they struggle. Like, hey, I'm gonna help you out.
And they show support.
If I like women or don't like women.
Exactly.
Right,
They're very supportive in the club. And I remember one of them telling me, because you know you get customers who come in there all the time and say, "Oh, you ought to dance," and I'm like, I don't think I have it. You know, I was like, I don't think I have the. At the time, I was like really tomboyish and really reserved, and so I was like, nah. But one of them told me about a studio down here. The two women that own it, last name Thrash. Like one of them is Shamika Thrash or Sharika Thrash, and then Terry Thrash. So I went there with my friend. We took the class, and then both of them are like business owners, papered up, got degrees. I mean, dope. I mean, really dope. Two dope women who just, you know, went and started this together. And they were like, "You're such a natural at it," because I picked up the moves on so fast, and they offered me to come in and teach it. And I was like, okay. I looked into it, and I was like, okay. And then I ended up relocating back to Arkansas. I went to Little Rock after I left here.
So what's your favorite strip club?
Ooh.
Out of all of them you don't been to, what's your favorite one?
Ooh, you killing me. That's hard because I like to sit down and eat my steaks.
Okay,
but
give me a top
But I'm gonna
two.
say
Give me your
Magic
top
City.
two.
I'm gonna say Magic City
In
in
Atlanta?
Atlanta because them girls ain't human. The stuff they do,
Yeah,
it's not even human. Like I never saw one of those girls sit down during the whole shift, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, y'all, that's work.
So,
That's work.
You got Magic City, and what's your second one?
Let's see, Magic City. I guess I kind of like all the hustler clubs simply because I know the structure of Mr. Chill Place. You know what I mean? They're all pretty chill. It's not that they have the best dancers, but they're it's almost a gentleman's club to me, and I kind of like those.
You like the hustler?
I do like them because I like gentlemen's clubs because they're more lax. So you got strip clubs where you get the entertainment side, but then sometimes I just really want that relaxed to go in and eat. I'm gonna tell you the one in let's see, in Miami. What was that one called?
You talking about the King of Diamonds?
It's like very close to King of Diamonds though. It's like a mixed club. It's not a black club.
Right.
I can't think of what it's called off the rip right now.
Well, I tell you, for me, I think it's all about the music. If the music is straight, man, it's straight.
Yeah.
But I can't go like at the hustle. Don't have a good time.
They don't.
Because they play the rock
music.
and roll, the
Yeah, the music.
I just can't.
Yeah, and they profile a little bit there because they're big on like
yeah, they profile like
they cater to like your cowboys and your corporate men. They don't want the urban crowd in there. I saw that
If I
first
sit in there, I can have a stack of ones in my pocket this thick, and they'll never know it because they'll keep walking back. So I like to go to the hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna play the future and all that.
You get the realness. I do like that.
Yeah,
I like the realness. I know sometimes people really talk about girls. They're like, oh, those girls were busted. I'm like, no, that's just a real representation of what women look like. I ain't bent about no stretch marks and no tattoos and nothing like that. It don't bother me. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Bazi Owenz, the artist. So you have a very unique style. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You kind of not like anybody, but when I think of your aura and everything, you kind of remind me of kind of Erykah Badu-ish with your aura. Okay.
I've heard that.
Yeah, but y'all different artists, but the aura around
I think it's that we both, what they call quote unquote woke. We're both, I think, like into philosophy and nature and holistic healing.
Right.
So I think like when you come across a person who's into that, it like reflects outwardly. Like I couldn't hide that if I wanted to because I'm into health and fitness and vibes and vibrations and all that. And so I think that's why I remind people of it. And I love her. Like she's legendary in my eyes. But the vibes like on my music are all mixed because my influences are so scattered. You know, my mom was the type to where she liked everything. She don't care if it's pop music, country music. My first concert was Willie Nelson. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, my first concert was Willie Nelson. And then my dad, on the other hand, was into like that big band jazz type music, Cab Calloway era.
Okay.
So I have both those undertones in my music. And then when I got a hold to 90s music, I was like, oh, it's a rap.
Oh,
so,
man, that was the best. That's one of the best eras.
I think the 90s and the 70s. Yeah.
90s and 70s.
Hands down. So based on those two time periods, like my theory is that every 20 years there's like a boom in the music industry. Like there's a boom in like creativity, and you know that's about how long it takes for the economy to be crashed, and then artists, all they have to hold on to is the music, and they get really creative when they're going through that struggle. And so my guess is like 2020 gonna be crazy. 2020, 2025 should be crazy.
Because me as a blogger, interviewer and all that, I try to find more singers to post and all that, but it's hard. I can't find as many because it's a million rappers.
Yeah.
But it's like 20 singers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're fresh. I'm glad for what you're doing. But you know, it's like it's enough. It's enough, or else I can't find them.
Yeah, I think they're hard to find because I think with singing, like there's a million people that can sing. But I think that it takes having that boost and that confidence. Like me, like I didn't pursue it until I had a degree, you know what I mean? Because I felt like I needed something to fall back on. And I think for most people, especially like females, they get caught up, you know, in their hometown. They get caught up singing for the church. Nothing wrong with it. They get very comfortable there. They get very comfortable just singing at the same club on Saturday nights, and they never pursue it professionally because they feel like their big break is going to come from singing in that same club. So I think sometimes singers aren't as forceful about it, you know, or as aggressive. And then you don't see singers like portraying this gigantic lifestyle like rappers do. So everybody's trying to be a rapper.
And then I think in rap, you don't even have to be able to rap no more to rap.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta have a following.
You just get a following, some money behind you, you're good. But I don't think. I don't think there's no way around singing. Either you can sing or you can't sing. And when you can't sing, then people go like, man, hell no.
I don't know, to an extent, I feel that way. But
go ahead.
I think sometimes, like, if you have the right persona, like if you're likable, then they'll still push you out there. They'll auto-tune the heck. They'll get you the best engineer in America and then push you out there.
But I think if you compare the two, I think it's harder to make it as a singer than a rapper.
I agree, because the people are examining every piece of you as a singer. To this day, I can't understand why there's still debates. Like every singer that comes up, Beyonce is automatically thrown into it. You know, and it's like, yeah, she's automatically thrown into it.
Because she's a hell of an entertainer.
Because she's a hell of an entertainer.
Singer, you know
right, but people have to examine every piece of her, like, oh, well, she doesn't hit this run, or her register is not this low, she's not that. One of my former teachers, or former principals in high school brought a really good point to me a couple of days ago. she was saying that if you know your area or your space and you work that space, you can make it. She was like, you might not be an Aretha, you might be a Billie Holiday. Cause like my voice, I'm very alto. Like I have a deep voice. I'm not a soprano all day. She was like, if you just work what you know, you stay in your range and you work it. I think the example she gave was Toni Braxton. And she was like, just work it.
I love Toni Braxton.
She was like, work what you're good at and go from there. But what you have is people who want to compete with the best of the best and want to be here and they want to have this range and that.